Welcome everybody to part 2 of our Python project introductions. In part 1 we learned how to use a basic print statement. We also learned how to import the time library to slow down the printing of each statement. And we created variables, such in the case of name, and used raw input to get information from the user. So in this video tutorial we're going to talk about conditional statements. Conditional statements change the flow of execution of a computer program. So if we get one answer from the user, then we're going to do these steps, and if we get another answer from the user, we're going to do these steps. So we start off by saying if, and we'll create a variable called answer, and if the user puts in yes, or the user puts in y, so we'll check for both cases, and then we end with a colon, and then any statements under this condition, the program will execute them. So we'll say answer is equal to raw input, and then we'll give the user a prompt. We'll say, do you have a pet? And actually, I'm sorry, this question needs to go above our conditional statement. So first we're going to ask the user if they have a pet, and if their answer is yes, then we'll say answer is equal to raw input, and we'll ask them what type of pet do they have, such as a dog, a cat, a fish, a ferret, or anything else. And if they do have a pet, then we'll say something like I am glad to hear you have and then we'll add answer to this statement. So if they answer they have a dog, then it will say, I'm glad to hear you have a dog. Okay, and I noticed I forgot a set of quotes up here. I need to go back and put those in. Now, if they don't have a pet, then we'll check for that. So we say else, and then we print that is too bad. I'm going to say something like, I really like animals. And then we will also slow this down. So we'll say time dot sleep 2 seconds. And then we'll also need a time dot sleep up here. And then after they say, after we find out that they have a pet, we might want to ask them what type of pet you have. So we can say something like print that's funny, and their answer, which could be a dog. Oh, Okay, so let's run our program and see what we get. So I'm going to say hello to the user, and I'm going to ask what the user's name is. And then it says nice. The computer says nice to meet you, Tom. And I'm going to say my favorite color is green. Now the computer's going to talk back to me. It's going to ask me if I have a pet. I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say I have a dog. And then it asks, I'm glad to hear that. It says I'm glad to hear that you have a dog. And then it says that's funny. Blank dog is what my little brother's name is. Ha ha. So that doesn't really make sense. So if we go back to our program and we can check it out. So the program runs, so we don't have any syntactical errors like spelling or misquotes or a missed keyword like print, but the logic is off because we're not getting the result we want. After we say I'm glad to hear you have a dog, we should ask something like can you tell me their name? So we only want that to appear if we actually have a dog, so we need to put it inside that part of the conditional. So we'll say answer is equal to raw input. Can you tell me their name? And then we'll say we need to take this sentence right here and put it inside our if conditional, because this sentence is only going to be true if you if they actually have a dog and they actually tell me our name. So they're going to say that's funny. Tom is what my little brother's name is. Haha. But since I can't capitalize the first letter, I might want to try to rearrange my sentence a bit. So I'm going to say that's funny. And then I'm going to try to say my little brother's name is. So we'll add some quotes and then a comma, and then we'll put our answer here, comma, and then we'll add some more quotes to end the sentence. Alright, so we'll run this to see if the logic is better. Welcome. I hope you will like programming. The computer has asked me their name. I'll do Jack this time. It's nice to meet you, Jack. What's your favorite color? I'll do purple. And it's going to say purple is a nice color. Do you have a pet? And I'll say yes again, but we'll try just Y, and that works. And I'll say cat. And his name is Newton. And so that's funny, my little brother's name is Newton. Haha. So now our logic is a little better. So the only thing we have to still check is we need to check the other condition, which is if we say no, we get this sentence, that's too bad, I really like animals. So let's run it again. And again, let's see, my name is Carl. And my favorite color is green. And I know I do not have a pet, so now it says that's too bad, I really like animals. Okay, so now we want to just finish up the conversation. So we'll say something like print, well, it was nice to meet you. And we'll say print, I hope we will be working together in the near future. And you can put different times in to make the speaking not so consistent each time, like every 2 seconds. This way it'll make it look more like a natural conversation. And then we'll print out programming should be done or be practiced a little each day. So what I would like you to do is to develop your own conversation and then email it to me and I will check it. Make sure to include things like variables, input, the time library, and at least one conditional. So let's see if this program is going to work like we want to. And then we will be finished with this project. So I'm going to put in my name, and I'll do brown this time, and I'll say no, I don't have a pet, and we'll finish up our conversation. And that's it for this tutorial. I will see you next time. Have a good night.